host, Joey Convento. Today's webinar installment is myofascial release, a safe and very effective hands-on technique that involves applying gentle sustained pressure to eliminate pain and restore motion. Joining us today will be Lorna Bernardo. Lorna is a personal trainer and group exercise instructor at UCSF. She has spent the last 15 years exploring different fitness modalities, Pilates, strength training, and yoga with the goal of enhancing her skills as a post-rehab specialist. Lorna's goal as a trainer is to teach her clients how to take care of their bodies through exercise and proper nutrition. Before we start, we encourage you to use the chat function to submit your questions that will be answered at the end of the presentation. In addition, this webinar will be available on our fitness video archive that can be accessed through fitness.ucsf.edu. Again, our website is fitness.ucsf.edu. And now, everyone, please welcome Lorna Bernardo.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is actually a companion piece to the stretch webinar that we did a couple months ago or a month ago. So if you're looking at like how to pair these two together, you would do this first. So you would do your foam rolling, your self-myofascial release techniques first, and then you would go on to stretch. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to learn by doing. So I'm going to take you through. You need your foam roller and a little ball, a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball is fine. You just want to make sure that it's, firm. So if you have a pinky ball, that works also. So self-myofascial release is basically a form of tool-assisted self-massage. So if you've been to the gym, you see people laying on the floor, rolling around with these. And sometimes people ask me, I'm not quite sure how to do this. Am I doing this correctly? What is this for? And why is everybody, rolling around like this? Some people roll fast, some people roll slow. What's the proper way to do this? I think at Millbury, they also teach the melt technique. So melt classes are very popular at Millbury. And it's a form of this also, except for their tools are way softer. So if you're somebody who's not so sensitive, you could probably use a regular foam roller. So I have a half one, but it's good to have, the full length one because there's more surface for you. So first of all, I want to know, people are going to ask me, what is fascia? So this is called self-myofascial release. So fascia is the connective tissue that basically connects up your bones and your muscles and your organs, and it wraps all around. It's like saran wrap all over your body, holding everything together. So you've got fascia going up and down, you've got fascia going crossways, you've got it going horizontally and diagonally. So what happens is when you have an injury or you have an overuse problem, like when you're typing too much and then you get that upper back pain, you get that knot, that's the muscle fibers starting to tighten up because they're trying to stabilize the joint. So then you get this knot. So what happens with the spider web of connective tissues, everything starts pulling over to that knot. So now bones are feeling stress. So your body's going to try and correct that. So then you develop another knot further down. And it's trying to balance that shoulder knot with a lower back knot. So this is your body trying to make sure that spine is stable. So we don't notice that bad things are happening until we need a massage. And right now, we can't get one. So what you could do is do your self-massage. And what I usually tell everybody, my clients, you know what? In a normal situation, you would go to your massage therapist. You would have them give you a deep tissue massage so then you can keep it up in between massages with the self-myofascial release. Makes your massages last longer. There's another benefit of self-myofascial release, other than releasing tension in your shoulders, is it also will loosen up the joint. So if those muscles holding the shoulders together are not stiff from knots or from typing, that will help you get your stretches much more effectively. So you can do this before working out and it'll be your warm-up. So this is really good. So also it helps post-workout. So you know how we get that DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, from doing exercise? This will help push through all that lactic acid that's building up from your workout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the major points, major parts to roll. So we're going to roll together. So the first thing I usually do is I start with my glutes, because I have one hip that's always got a knot in it. So what I usually do is I take my foam roller and just sit on it. And I just sort of like roll around and just sort of feel. So I feel a knot on the left side, nothing much on the right side. This is your exploration. So if you feel like, oh, I'm having a hard time balancing, just put your fingers down. So what you're going to do is go to the side that has the knot. You're going to lean over on that side. So I'm going to go sideways so you guys can see. And then you're going to take that ankle. So you're on the butt cheek, this ankle. And then you're just going to roll. So roll your way around. Everybody disappeared. There we go. So just going to roll on that butt cheek. So whatever leg is bent, that's the butt cheek you're on. So if you feel a tender spot or a knot, just stop. And then you're going to tiny rock from the tailbone to the hip. So you're just tiny sway. You don't really want to go too fast, because if you go too fast, that just gets the muscle to tighten up to get you to stop. And then you're going to roll up and down 5 times. So you're just rolling on that knot, pulling the knee up towards your shoulder if you can. If you already feel a stretch, just being in this position, just stay here. And then you're just going to feel your way around now to another portion of your glute. So for me, mine is very specific. I only have one spot. If you have more spots, you're going to do the same thing. Go to the next spot, rock side to side 5 times, and then up and down 5 times. Great. Now let's do the same on the other side. So you're going to put your, for me it's my right hand down. I'm on my right butt cheek. And I'm just going to roll and just explore. So if you have no issues, then you don't have to spend that much time on this, on the side, on that part of your body. It just means you can concentrate on the side that you have an issue. So that's how you roll your glutes. Okay? Now I'm going to show you how to roll your back. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to do your upper back. You're on your back. You're going to take your foam roller and place it to your shoulders, and you're going to support your head. So you're making a sling with your hands, and you're going to support your head. So you're going to close those elbows, roll from armpit to armpit. Okay, so you're just going to roll your whole body 1 time per side. And then you're going to drop your head. Your tailbone is on the floor. Okay, close the elbows, move to the next spot. Now roll, keep those elbows closed, armpit to armpit. So what we're doing is we're spreading those shoulder blades and trying to get those upper back muscles. Now come back to the middle and drop your head and open those elbows. So this is a great way to stretch your pecs out. This is a good anti-computer stretch. So now move to the next spot, close those elbows, going rib to rib now, or armpit to armpit, depending on where you are on your back. And then you're just gonna drop back, let the elbows open, let the weight of your head stretch your abs out. Close those elbows. Now you're at your mid-back or just below the shoulder blades, rolling side to side. And then you're gonna drop your head. So when you put your arms in a sling like this, you're not gonna hurt your neck. So one last spot. So now you're kind of in the middle of your back and you're just going rib to rib. And then drop back. If you feel too much stress here, just move up a little bit so you get to a spot that's not so stressful on the back. So now I've had people say, well, this is great, but what if I have a low back problem? How do I address that area? Because if I try and roll down here over my roller, it doesn't feel good on the low back. So I'm going to show you how to get your low back. So you're going to take your foam roller underneath the knees. You're going to lie down flat on the floor. So I'm going to scoot down so you can see. So you're going to lift your hips up into bridge, and you're just going to place the foam roller just above the butt cheeks. Take one leg slowly up, and then take the other leg slowly up. So hug your knees, and you're going to get a nice low back stretch. Okay? So what you're going to do is hold on to the roller because it's going to roll away. Your legs are in tabletop. Tabletop is this 90 degrees position. You're going to take a breath, exhale, and roll, and you're going to roll the top part of your one butt cheek, which is really hard to do when you're sitting on the roller. This is a really great way to get the upper part of your glutes. So down here, I usually do too, because I tend to have more issues down here. Now, put your feet down and roll to the next spot. You're rolling up your back, and you're just going to drop 2 times on each side. So stop when you feel a stretch. So I don't want you to be overzealous and then roll off your roller or over twist. Okay, now moving to the next spot. So basically we're now on QL, which is responsible for 90% or 95% of back pain, low back pain. QL gets really tight. Keep going. So QL actually anchors right at the top of your ribs. So you may have to go up a little higher than you feel like, my back goes all the way down, low back muscles go all the way to the 13th rib. And then just one more spot. So you're now at the top and you can feel those ribs. Just 2 per side, that's good enough. So that's how you do your whole back. So put your feet down and slide your roller away. So now I'm going to show you how to do your IT band. So everybody knows about the IT band. Everybody's got really tight IT bands. Everyone's always talking about the IT band and how you're supposed to stretch it, but it is so hard to stretch because the IT band goes alongside your outer thigh. It's a limb. It's hard to get. So this is how you can stretch your IT band. So you're going to place your hip. So you've got the hip bone up here, and then you've got the thigh bone down here. You've got a soft spot in between. That's where you start. Place your roller right there. Put your arm down like this. Take your top foot like this. That way, the weight is evenly distributed throughout your body, and you're not collapsing into your shoulders because it's taking too much weight. Now, this foot is going to propel you that way, which means the roller is going down your leg towards your knee. So place your hand down and you're going to push. So push until you feel a sore spot. You're just rolling along. This leg is completely dead. You're dragging it. When you find a sore spot, stop. So I just found one. Now you're going to roll side to side really quickly 5 times, or not really quickly. You're just going to go steadily and up and down that knot 5 times. And then you're going to push to the next spot. So you're only looking for the knots. So don't worry if you don't have any issues. And then you're doing the same thing, repeating 5 times, side to side, and up and down. So you're only going to go to just above the knee. You do not want any of your bones directly on this roller because it's not going to feel good. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the front of your hips and thighs. Okay, so you're going to take this roller and you're going to have the edge of it like this. So you're on your tummy and this other leg is to the side now and you're going to be on your forearms. This leg is pushing you so you can walk with your arms forward down the front of your leg. If you feel a sore spot, stop. That's your sore spot. Now what I want you to do is stop at the sore spot, bend and straighten your leg 5 times. So basically, if you flex your foot, you're going to feel that quad. And you're like, oh, this is tight. And then move on to the next spot. So you're just going to keep walking or rolling down your leg just above the knee. And when you find a sore spot, just bend and straighten that leg 5 times. Excellent. So you guys are actually pretty good. Well, you're all muted. Usually at this point, people are making faces and groaning. So I'm like, wow, you guys are really good. Okay, so let's do the other leg now. We're gonna do the IT band first. So you're going to place that roller right on the soft spot between the hip bone and the thigh bone, the top of the thigh bone. Put your hand down, and this leg crosses and is flat on the floor. And you're just gonna push with this leg until you find a sore spot on the outer part of your thigh. When you find that spot, so I just found one, side to side, tiny roll 5 times. And then up and down, tiny roll up side to side. If you feel like you've got too much pressure on your upper body, put your foot down because that's going to help hold you up. And then you're just going to keep going down the side of your thigh until you get just above the knee. If you get tired, your upper body gets tired of holding you up, take a break. It's okay to take a break. I like to do this when I'm watching TV, like if I'm watching the news or whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna take the front half, okay? Place the roller, your face down, okay? And then you have this edge line up with your pubic bone because you wanna make room for this knee because it's holding you up. You're on your forearms and you're just gonna push with this leg until you get to the front of your thighs. When you feel a sore spot, stop, flex the foot, and bend the knee and straighten the knee. So you don't want to roll back and forth. You only want to go in one direction because we're trying to get the muscle to relax. If you do fast rolling back and forth, that's a different technique, and that gets blood into the area, but it also stimulates the muscles and they'll tighten up a little bit. We just want them to relax. So this leg for me, I have more knots. So you're just going to go all the way down until you find to the top of the knee. So that's how you get your quads. So if you sit a lot, this is a good one to do. If you find that your knee clicks, this is a good one to do because it usually means that your quads are tight and your hip flexors are tight. Okay, so now we're going to do your calves. So you're on your foam roller. You're going to rest your ankle on top, and then the other foot crosses on top of that. Okay? So I usually bend mine because I don't want that much pressure, but if you feel like you're sensitive, you don't want that pressure, you don't have to put the other leg on top. So you're going to lift up and just roll until you find a sore spot and then drop your bottom. Now what I want you to do is get this foot out of the way. So this is why I bend my knee. Now we're gonna roll side to side. You're just gonna feel your way around the calf. I have tight calves, so I already know right here's my spot. So when you find that sore spot, stop, rotate your foot, make a circle with those toes 5 times. And then go the other way 5 times. And then tiny rocks over the most sore spot, and then up and down. So you may have more than one spot on your calves. I do, so I'm just gonna go to the next spot and circle or go side to side. So you wanna go side to side first because that tells you where your spots are. And then go to the most sore of those spots and then circle 5 times. And then circle the other way 5 times. And then you're gonna go to the next sore spot. So if you're done, you have no sore spots, switch legs. So I went for a run this morning and I have sore spots. So I did not stretch like I'm supposed to after exercise, so this is what happens. So now I've got sore spots and sore calves. Let's switch legs. So for me, because I didn't stretch or cool down, so you're gonna roll side to side. So this is the cool part of having 2 legs. You get to practice now on that second side. And then find your most sore of the spots and then circle 5 times and then circle the other way 5 times. So basically you're loosening up that calf muscle. And then you're gonna move to the next spot And wherever it's sore, roll all the way in, roll all the way out. And this will tell you where you need to sit so that you can draw your circles. And then 5 times the other way. And then tiny rocks side to side over that sore spot, and then up and down. So basically, you're just sort of wiggling your leg around on that sore spot. And then you're going to go to the next one. So if you have no more, you're done. If you have more, you're just going to keep working your way until you don't feel any more knots. Okay? So now we've done our hips, we've done our calves, we've done the front of our hips and quads. I'm going to move you up now, and I'm going to show you how to use a lacrosse ball. So before we do that, let's do feet. So if you want to, you can sit down and do this. I'm going to sit down and do this, and I'm going to show you before I move my camera because I had an issue yesterday. Can you guys see my ball? So my ball is white for a reason, so you can see. So you're just going to put the ball, put your foot on top of it. And you're just going to roll around, and you'd be very interesting to see how many sore spots you've got on your feet that you didn't know about. So my feet are almost flat. They're not completely flat, but they are almost flat. And I've been running on hard surfaces, so my feet are sore. So feel your way around and go to the first sore spot and just press down. And then you're going to feel your way around and go to the next sore spot. So mine are normally around the arches, especially the inner part of my foot. Okay, so now place your ball right in the middle of the ball of your foot and press down. So your toes are naturally going to curl over. And then you're going to go in a straight line to the middle of the arch and press down. So I would say about 5 seconds. And then you're going to go to just in front of the heel and press down. So you should be feeling a bunch of tender spots, especially the front part of the arch and the back part of the arch. Now you're going to go to the under the big toe. And that's the front part of your arch. And just make a stripe all the way down that arch, all the way. And if you feel a sore spot, just stop. Yeah. And then all the way to the heel. And then this is where you start to just roll your ball really fast. And that gets some blood in the muscles down there so that the muscles are more flexible. So let's do the same on the other side. So just feel your way for any sore spots and just stop and sit on it. So what I like to do is I like to draw stripes down the foot from my toes to my feet so I can feel my way around. So for me, this foot's not as bad. I don't have as many issues. So if you've had issues like with plantar fasciitis, which is a lot of runners get that. If you're on your feet a lot, people get that. What happens is the muscles on the bottoms of your feet swell up. And it's from overuse, too much standing, wearing poor shoes, poor support for the feet. Okay, now you're just going to go really fast. Just get blood in that area. And that's how you do your feet. So now we're going to move to your upper back. So we did the upper back with the foam roller, but I'm going to show you how to get more pinpointed positions. So I'm just moving my camera. So when you use the ball for this, it's really good because you can get right in between those shoulder blades, right? And which is really hard to get if you don't have somebody massaging you. So you're going to place your butt up against the wall. And your feet are slightly in front, so you're leaning into the wall, okay? Now you're going to place your ball. I'm just going to show you right here. Whoops. Place your ball and try not to lose it between your back and the wall, okay? So I always start a little higher And that way I can bend my knees and slide down and feel my way around that shoulder area. So you're just going to explore. Do you have a knot? Stop, press, and count to 20. And then go to the next spot. So you're just sort of working your way between the spine and the shoulder blade, and you're going to feel the knots. So this is what they call the trigger point. So I feel this all the way down my neck and arm. So if you feel like, okay, my legs are straight now, I need to go a little lower. So this is why your butt is up against the wall. You're going to just lean forward a little bit, let the ball drop, and that way you can bend your knees. Yeah. So this is a really, really great way to get that upper back, especially now that we inched upper shoulder. Because we cannot, yeah, you could use a tennis ball, Pilar. Tennis ball is great. The only problem with the tennis ball that you may have with it is it might be a little slippery because of the felt. So I would put, first aid tape. So it's kind of webby and a little sticky. Just put like a cross on the ball, and then it gives the wall something to grip. Ball grips to the wall. So just keep going alongside. So mine is all along that shoulder blade. I've got knots in there, like big time knots. And then you're just going to keep lowering the ball by leaning forward. And this is a really great way to get now the mid back also. You could come forward and get your low back. So this will get more targeted low back. So as you can see, this is like when you get a massage and the therapist sticks their elbow in there. But you can control this. You can also do this lying down. But I find standing up is a little more manageable for pressure. So you can do the other side now. Butt against the wall, and you're just going to feel your way on the upper part of your back on the other side. And lower your ball by leaning forward slightly and just keep feeling your way around. So some people will say, oh, my knees, this bothers my knees. Butt against the wall. Don't let your bum come forward. Your bottom is against the wall so that your knees are not in a wonky position. Yeah. So what you could do also is some people will take 2 tennis balls, put them in a sock, and then they'll do either side of their spine all at once. So you could do that too. It's a little faster. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do your deltoids here. You're going to lean in like that. This is super simple. Okay, so you're just finding any sore spots you may have. Not a lot of people have issues here. Some people do, depending on, the typing. And you can also do your forearm for the typing. Just lean in and roll up the arm towards the elbow. And you're going to find knots. I have knots right there. So, yeah, so just explore around. And I'm feeling with a little bit that we've done that this whole side now is starting to relax. If you have carpal tunnel issues, this one is really great. So rolling the forearm and rolling the underside. So if you're going to roll the underside, sit at your desk, place the ball on the desk, and you're just going to lean in. And you're basically going to put your other hand on top, and you're just going to roll the underside of your arm like that. So if you're going to do it on the wall, it's a little harder because it's harder to control, but you could do it on here. I tend to like the desk because it's easy. Yeah, so let's roll the other side so you guys are even, and then I will show you how to stretch the pecs, to roll the pecs next. And then you're done. So that's how you roll your whole body out. So when you're doing the pecs, we're gonna go to the door jamb. I like the door jamb because there's these grooves here, see, that help hold the ball in place. Okay, so I'm short, so I'm just gonna leave it here. So what I do is I take one leg in front of the door and lean in. So you're basically lunging, and just lean in so you get your pecs and your shoulder. So anything that's sore, stop and lean in and count to 20. So you may have to adjust this with your other hand. That's fine. So you're going to know if it's too much pressure, then you should not roll that area. You're too sensitive for it. But you can tell if it's like doesn't feel good. No, you haven't missed the hamstrings. I will show you. You can do the hamstrings on the foam roller, but it's not as good. I find a basketball is better. But I'll show you really quickly how to do hamstrings. So everybody roll the other side of your pecs. So just roll around until you feel. The hip flexor roll we did when we were on our stomachs and when we did the fronts of the thighs. So I'll just review that really quickly because other people probably have that same question. So for your hamstrings, I'm taking you back onto the floor. It's kind of a wonky position. Okay, so what you're gonna do, take one leg, get it all the way in at the groin. So you're basically, this other leg is sideways and holding you up, and you're just gonna let the leg be dead on top of the foam roller. And then you can roll like this, side to side, and just work your way down. So I find for me, the foam roller is not as effective as a domed ball. So if you have a medicine ball, a basketball, it's a firm ball. That gets in there better, especially right up here in the groin area, the sit bone area. Yeah, that's how you do that. So you're gonna do the other side. So just like this. So just work your way down, and then when you find your sore spot, just sort of roll side to side. Yeah. So the question was, when do you roll? So I'm just gonna review the hip flexor stretch, what we did earlier. So you're like this on your hip flexor, and then you're just gonna bend and straighten. So that's how you do that one. So you're just sort of rolling from groin to hip. So when do you do this? You do it before you work out. If you tend to be super sore after a workout, you did a hard workout, I sometimes do it after I work out. So I do it before my workout as part of my warm-up, and then I do my stretches. So at the end of the workout, you can do it also if you're super tight and sore after a workout. Sometimes I do it to relax. I know it seems weird because it doesn't feel that relaxing when I'm doing it, but afterwards, you feel a little lighter. So that's how you foam roll. Somebody asked me, what are the benefits? If you foam roll 3 times a week for 4 months, you will notice that you have a little better flexibility because you're pairing that with the stretches. But don't expect your foam rolling to be a cure-all to resolve all your tightness, because your tendency, if you're tight like me, you will tend to bounce back and be tight. It's genetic. If you're loosey-goosey, then that's genetic too. So that's why they say, stretching is always good. The flexibility program is always good because your stretches that you did yesterday, as you can see in the morning, the next day, just doesn't mean much. So that's how you would do this. So just add this to your regular stretching, and you'll find that the stretching will be much better. Your body will sort of respond to the stretching much better and more quickly. Yes, Joey's got, so the question was, is this going to be available in the library for review? Yep, all of the webinars are available on the website for review. So you can see all the other ones, the past ones, the stretching one that goes with this. You can see that one too.